Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. Husband have sex with a 15-year-old girl for a year and stepmom want to kill her. Wrote this at 1 a.m. in the morning, just catching up. Complicated, might be a better sub for this, if anyone knows one. Most likely not the correct sub, but my life is messed, and I just don't know what to call this. My 33F husband, 32 meters, has been having sex for a year and a half with a 15-year-old girl. In my house, every time I went out. Over 20 times, she claims. We have been together for 15 years. He moved in with my family when he was 16 due to his own family problems. His half-cousin, 37F, is my best friend. The 15-year-old girl is her daughter. He has known her since she was born. He helped teach her how to walk and watched her grow up. They are second half-cousins. I am so disgusted, horrified, angry, sad and guilty for not protecting her. She lived with me for the last 2 years because her dad sexually/physically abused her. Her stepmom tried to kill her and her mother was not allowed to have her for other reasons. She has a ton of trauma and other problems. She was like a daughter to me. I called her my niece and she called me stepdad and him uncle. I thought I could trust my husband. I really did. Where I live, this is illegal, Canada. 16 is the year of consent. It has been happening since 14. When I found out, I called the police and reported him. He is gonna go to jail. He has still not spoken to police, but they are building a case. My niece refuses to speak to police, but she was the one who came clean to me about it. He admitted to it, after I punched him in the face. My niece and him claim they are in love. That they turned to each other because they share trauma from both being in bad households growing up. She is not grown up though, she is 15. I had to stop talking to her. She moved into a group home. I feel terrible. Like I abandoned my kid. I know it's not her fault and I still love her but need some time. She claims they are not speaking anymore. We also have an 8-year-old son together. That my niece called her little brother. All he knows is that we are separating and dad's moving out. That his cousin had to move because she needed more space. I have been a stay-at-home mom for 8 years. I have next to zero education. No financial help. Almost zero work experience because I had my kid at 25 and was just a cashier before that. He said he will cover rent and bills till February. Or until something changes. Working on getting help for after that. It's a process. I am so worried about my son. What am I gonna do when he goes to jail? Scared for my niece and her mental health. It has been 26 days. We are splitting time with our son right now. I have no choice. Anyone have any advice for my super strange situation? Edit to add, just so people can better understand how hard this is for me to accept. When I was 4, my sister who was 6 was raped and murdered by a pedophile. So this subject is really very hard for me. I just cannot believe I married a pedophile. Comments from community. Thank you. Education was my first step. I'm making appointments to see someone at my local university. Never thought of a paralegal, that could be very interesting. I could not do LPN work. Really hate hospitals. Spent a lot of time in them as a kid. A dear friend got his paralegal certs. And it turns out there were far more paralegals than there were jobs for them in this area. He now works for a food manufacturer on the line. So, please check your realistic employment opportunities before spending the time and funds on getting a degree or certification. Not where I live. I live in one of the largest cities on the US and there's a paralegal shortage and they're getting hired like mad. Googling this, it looks like most results are saying it's a high-demand job, so I'm not sure where you're getting your info, or if you just live in a rural area and are incorrectly acting like the limited employment possibilities in a small town are universal. I'm a paralegal. Decent pay and actually I don't type so well. 2 years of community college and easy to find a job, high demand. Also, as a paralegal, I can tell you, your husband has not been sleeping with a teenager. He's been raping a child. As a Canadian, I can tell you we have temp agencies. And that's not a bad idea. Also check the Canadian Job Bank. Good place to start. Check with local UFCW, a union that specializes in jobs like grocery shops and good handlers, and see if they can help you get into a job/let you know of places with openings around you. I know it's not the time of year right now, but also look into applying with Costco if you have one near. They take good care of their employees too if you get on, and it requires little to no skill, just a drive to do a good solid job. There are medical billing and coding classes that are online and at your own pace. Some even have job placement. There are a lot of companies that outsource their billing, so you can even get a WFH job. Hey! I know you don't like working in hospitals, but you might like being an MLA, Med Lab Assistant. Edit: I live in Canada. I'm an MLA, I poke people in an outpatient setting who need blood work done. You might have been to these places: DynaLife, DynaCare, Life Labs. There are also lots of positions in hospitals, but you definitely don't need to work in one. Many MLAs also work in the behind the scenes of labs, helping receive/process samples, lots of data entry, loading and unloading blood tubes into analyzer trays. I went to school for 6 months, immediately got a job at $22 per hour. I have a pension and full health benefits with a flexible health spending account at $2,500 a year. These jobs are also extremely flexible, with lots of workers being casual, part-time, shift work, or full-time. Many are also union protected, like mine. Almost all MLA programs are less than a year of school and can be taken part-time. Agree, she sounds educated enough in her post, she can definitely find something. I went back to school later on and became an RN. Let this situation push you to better your life for your son and yourself. I'm so sorry this happened to you. You did the right thing. It's abuse of this girl. She cannot consent, she's a minor. Please get Dr. Bessel van der Kolk's book called The Body Keeps the Score. War, car accidents, fire, rape, a criminal act, etc., these all cause PTSD. 70% of people who discovered infidelity have PTSD. That's data from a researcher and expert on infidelity, Drive. Skinner. This is very true. Please don't fall into traps like "why didn't I see the signs?" He knew the family you had at home. He was already a predator, so once he caught you at a vulnerable moment, that's all he needs. These people are very, very good at slipping all kinds of radar. Don't blame yourself. You're doing the right thing. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell.